Oh, hey, what's up? So, this time we're gonna do number 37, Haikyuu. Haikyuu. So here's my anime review for Haikyuu. So I actually liked it. I'm kind of surprised. I was putting off watching it for a very long time. So I actually watched it recently. So it's been out for a few years, but I only watched it a few months ago actually. And I was putting off watching it for a long time because I thought, oh, well, it's a sports anime. I don't really like sports. I'm not a sports guy at all. Just not athletic, like not athletic. I'm a nerd. Always been a nerd. Um, I think it's pretty obvious by this channel that I'm a nerd. So I do not play sports. So yeah, I was just very, very surprised. So I eventually did watch it because everybody was saying it was good, and even if you're not a sports fan, especially it's volleyball, so it's not like the most popular sport. But I watched it and I surprisingly really liked it. I gave it an 8, and that's a solid 8. That's not like a low 8. That's probably like an 8.5. That's like a good solid 8. Um, so I really enjoyed the first season. This score of 8.44. I think it's fair. Like fair, yeah. I think it's a fair estimation. I wouldn't put it higher. I wouldn't put it higher than that, but I think 8.44 is very high because then this is a solid score, right? It's kind of hard to, if an anime gets a score like that, you have to justify it. You have to justify it with something. So 8.44, very solid score. You know, I think that's really cool. It's very interesting. Different characters. You see different types of plays. It's very fast paced. I think first season was very fast paced. But yeah, so that's my first season. I think it's very good. Now let's go with the second season. I'm gonna go through all the seasons and just kind of just show it. So as you can see, the scores keep inflating, and this like I've already said this so many times in other videos, but second season the score will generally inflate. If it doesn't, it means the season was probably the quality definitely did get worse if the score drops. But generally, you see an inflation, and I gave it a 7. See, it's already happening. We're already having this phenomenon with the second season where the community is gonna increase the score. I'm going to drop the score. So the rift between my view and the community's view will continue to increase. So I gave it a 7 because second season, I mean, I watched all of it. Everything that's out, I watched all the seasons. I binged it, and yeah, I did enjoy it. But the problem is, it's since it is just a sports anime. Eventually, it's going to get boring. Like you're only going to have so much character development and different types of plays and all of that before it gets boring. And in this season, like basically, it starts to feel like they drag it out. I think second season was still fine. I think it's like the third and fourth season later they really start to drag it out. Like the games get longer and more stretched out and all that. And it's all just the same stuff. You just get it does get boring. It does get repetitive. So it's very, I think it's difficult to make this kind of anime last for a very long time and stay interesting. It's a cool concept for one season, maybe like a second, but it's going to run dry. And that's the same problem with a lot of anime, actually. So it's not just like this, but I think this particular concept of a sports anime, I think it's just very hard to be original and unique for a very long period of time. It's going to get boring. It will get repetitive. It will get boring. It will, yeah. That's just what's going to happen. That's what happens in a lot of shonen anime and just slice of life anime. It happens in a lot of anime. It is very hard to continue to make the story interesting. Generally, I think what happens is people get hooked in the first season of most anime, and then they just keep watching it because they just want to know how it ends, but they're not enjoying it as much. I don't think people generally enjoy second and third season as much. I mean, I definitely know I don't. I generally do not enjoy second and third seasons as much as first season. I might be interested. I might still be interested enough to watch it and keep watching it, but it generally does get worse. So I gave it a 7. I dropped the second season down to a 7. The community obviously inflated it, so I would probably say second season. Second season is probably a little bit overrated. I would probably say it's a little overrated, but that's just the nature of how the scoring works. So, but overall, like yeah, Haikyuu has my total recommendation. Third season, Third season was just 10 episodes. The entire season is literally one giant volleyball game. That's it. They managed to stretch out one volleyball game to 10 episodes. That is ridiculous. I enjoyed it. It was kind of a cool game. Like, really, all that, but still. Oh, I gave it an 8. Yeah. See, I gave it an 8 because I actually enjoyed it. Yeah. So, yeah, second season I gave a 7 probably because they were dragging things out too much. But I guess the third season, they went back to kind of more interesting, faster paced, interesting. So I gave it an 8. Yeah. And they gave it 8.7. Man, that's really high. I probably a bit overrated. I'm going to say second and third season, probably a little bit overrated with the scores. But, like I said, that's what happens. At this point, you just have the committed fans. I mean, people really, really liked Haikyuu. I mean, it's ranked 33, so this is on the top page. This is in the top 50, so it's very popular. So yeah, I gave it an 8. I guess I actually like the third season more than the second season, which is very rare, but that is what happened. So this is just one giant volleyball game. That's the third season. And then you have the fourth season. Oh, actually, this is an OVA. Yeah, this is an OVA. I gave it a 7. Yeah, OVAs. I don't talk about the OVAs because they're hit or miss. Hit or miss for OVAs. I might give it a good score. Might give it a bad score. Haikyuu to the top. I gave it a 7. Oh, and they split it to 2 seasons. Yeah. So at this point, you can see the score drops actually to 8.36. This is even lower than the first season. I think it's because people were starting to realize that it was dragging out. Like at this point, I think third season was probably a peak. Like people still were hyped up for third season, but the fourth season, the score dropped a bit because it wasn't just me. Everybody started thinking it was repetitive. It really was getting repetitive. And then we have to the top part too. So they're just introducing new characters and all that. Yeah. So the fourth season part 1, it was just a bunch of background stuff, so it wasn't very exciting. The fourth season part 2, which is what this is, the score went up again, went up a little bit. So at this point, people started thinking it was a little better. I still gave it a 7 though, because it was just more of the same stuff at this point. Yeah, so 8.55. So anyway, what's my estimation of the anime? First season, fair score. All the other seasons after the first season, partially overrated, maybe by a quarter of a point. Yeah, maybe like a quarter of a point or so overrated. That's what I would say about all the other seasons. But fair, still fair. It's a good anime. Yeah, Haikyuu is a good anime. I'm quite impressed that I enjoyed an anime about volleyball. And after watching Haikyuu, I'm actually at some point I want to watch other sports anime because I thought maybe I'll watch Kuroko no Basket. I think like the basketball one. I forget what it's called. There's another one called like Slam Dunk or something. So yeah, I thought like, hey, like I actually got interested. I thought, hey, maybe I should watch some other sports anime at some point because in Haikyuu I think was very interesting. Very interesting concept. I really didn't think I would enjoy sports anime. So even if you're not a sports fan, I recommend it because there's plenty of people that watch it and they don't even like sports anime. Like they don't even play sports and they thought it was good. So I think that says something. I really do think it says something. And then we have the movie. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I think they're gonna make like whatever's left in the manga, they're gonna turn that into a movie. So I don't know. I don't know much about what's going on, but I'm hoping to watch. Like I'm hoping it comes out because I'll definitely watch it. So anyway, that ends my review of Haikyuu. I'll see you next time.